Welcome to McBain's Legends of the Game podcast, where I'm going to bring you weekly stories from the past.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to McBain's Legends of the Game podcast. I'm Grayson. I'm here joined by Trevor Lutke.
It'd be lucky. Come on, Guernsey.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
I'm
dude.
sorry. It's kind of nervous getting in front of the camera because it's my second podcast so far. But he played for the McBain Ramblers from 2009 to 2012, and he got selected to the All-Star game. And it's unfortunate that I have him here to ask him some of the questions. So we're gonna get started right now. And when did you start playing football?
So I started playing football as 8th grade. I was one of the different ones. I was always a lot bigger. You know, in our Pop Warner program, if you're bigger, you just can't really play. So I started in 8th grade and loved it. Loved it straight from the beginning. So then I just kept playing through high school. Yeah.
So you guys had like a rocket program and all that type of stuff back when you were in middle school?
Yeah, so we were with the rocket program, which was really cool. So I went to NMC. So a lot of people don't know that. So I went to NMC K through 8. And so I was actually able to play football, which was huge. I'm actually really happy I was even able to have an opportunity because I don't think my parents would have let me come over earlier than that to play football. So had an opportunity. They saw some potential in me playing football, and that's just kind of how we went about it.
When you moved up to high school, did you immediately get moved up to varsity, or did you do a couple, 2 years of JV, or what happened?
I was on JV for roughly 2 days. I will say, I don't know if on the camera you can see it, obviously. I'm large in stature. I haven't changed a lot since 8th grade. I was always a big guy. I was always around, 250 pounds, and I was a lot more athletic when I was younger. But yeah, so I started out day one playing defensive end for the varsity, and then I just went all the way through.
You started immediately when the season started?
Yeah, first game. Yeah, starting position. It was me and a guy that you guys don't even know the name of was Cole Bernick was on the other side at the other defensive end. And, yeah, it was a blast.
What was the situation of the program at the time when you got moved up to varsity? Were they doing pretty good, or were they, pretty bad?
We were, I want to say we were rolling, but it wasn't that. It was we were leading into it. We could see the light at the end of the tunnel. We did have a few down years prior. So we did have a few down years, the years prior. I think we only won 1 or 2 games maybe 2 years before, but then we had a coaching change and started to really build the program up, and you could see it dramatically. And so that's when it happened. As you can see, I feel like I was a part of one of the best building processes in McBain history, because it went down from we had a 1-8 season 2 years before me, when I was in 7th grade, and then we just slowly made our way up.
We're going to skip a couple of seasons, go to the 2011 season. So the previous one, you made it all the way to the regional finals, and you lost at that. So what were the expectations for the 2011 season, and how were you guys thinking you were going to go farther? Were you possibly going to go to the finals?
Expectation always at McBain High School should be we're going to win state. That's what I feel. I'm big into it. I never in high school didn't want that. I never in high school says we don't have a chance. We always had the shot to win state. That 2011 season, that team was special. The year prior to that, the 2010 team was very special. The only thing that was hurting that 2010 team was age. We had some great senior leadership, but a lot of the guys that were coming up were, sophomores and freshmen, and we just kind of didn't build it up that. But no, that team, 2011, we're always looking to win state. Conference was expected, district was expected, but we did come up short and just in a barn burner in the playoffs. So what do you do?
And during the 2011 season, when you made it to the playoffs, you were playing Iron Mountain. You went to triple overtime, and then there was this one call. What was your opinion on that call?
Yeah, I'm not going to live in the past, man. My life's forward now. But I remember at the time I was a kid, it hurt. I thought it was clean. Everybody thought it was clean. The end of the game, we almost had fans and parents on the field. That flag came out really late, and that hurt a lot of people. And what ended up happening is Iron Mountain made it to the semifinals that year and lost to Ithaca, who was an absolute powerhouse. So, which I think we could have actually did better at because that was a very passing team. But you never know, man. Don't want to live in the past, but it did hurt. I'm not going to say it didn't.
During that season, you got selected to the All-Star game. What was that like to know that you got selected to that?
It was cool. It was fun to have people you work hard in high school. There's no question about it. It's good to see people realize what you're doing and how you're going about it. And, yeah, to go to the All-Star game was a lot of fun. I got to hang out on Grand Valley State's campus for about a week and a half and just nothing but football. It was fun. And I got to hang out with a lot of guys everybody was going to college football. So, I mean, everybody had been there. Everybody was the best player. And it was fun to have people that were so just immersed in football. I mean, a heck of an experience. I remember at the time, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it was basically like full-out college. I mean, I've had it in camp in college where, like, that week was harder. I mean, it was crazy how hard they worked for only a couple of quarters to play and just have a little fun. But, yeah, other than that, it was great.
Were there any, like, notable players there?
Joe Ostman, for sure. Joe Ostman was a linebacker for St. Anne's that we actually played that year. And he went on to go to CMU. And then he also went on. I don't know if he got drafted. He might have been a free agent, but he did play some time with the Eagles. And just a great guy. I remember, too, I was telling you earlier, he was a 4-time state champion wrestler. I mean, he was just an absolute freak and even a better person. A couple of great players that went to Ferris that won some national championships. Or no, they didn't win national championships those years. They were just in those playoff runs. But, yeah, that's who was notable. Number one was Joe Ostman. He was the captain of that team, and you could tell. Yeah, he's just a special guy, and you could tell he was going somewhere.
Did you have any, like, a scholarship offers from any colleges, and what scholarship or what college did you choose to go to?
My big three, honestly, I probably could have went. Some colleges didn't even talk to me when it came to like Hope and some of those places. Nothing against those schools. I told them from the beginning I really wasn't looking to go to those schools. I did get an offer from Grand Valley. I got an offer from Michigan Tech, and I got an offer from Northwood. I ended up going to Northwood. I just loved it. I loved what it was. I loved the business school aspect of it. You know, it was hard at that time to not want to go to Grand Valley. But the fact of the matter is the moment I went on a visit, I told my dad, I'm like, I'm not going here. There's no way I could do it. I don't want to be here. I didn't really like Grand Rapids, and I fell in love with Northwood's campus. And that's where I'm extremely happy I was able to get a 4-year degree out of Northwood.
What was your role in the team in college?
My role, I mean, just like most people in college, I mean, unless you're an absolute freak, you talk about those guys starting as like freshmen, sophomores. That really doesn't happen at that level. What happens is you get redshirted and you move your way up, and at the end you see how much time you get, and at the end when you're done, you're done. I mean, there's really no outlet for the NFL out of those schools, but that's just what you do. So my role in the team, I was second string long snapper, second string offensive tackle pretty much my whole career. I was behind a 6'7" monster named Matt Madreski that I was the backup to my whole career. He came in as a freshman, and he's one of those players that he started as a freshman. He had preferred walk-ons to Michigan and Michigan State and decided not to take them. He loved Northwood too. So, yeah, and that's how that went.
How did the team do in like college? Did you guys get like anywhere? Was there a playoff system in place, or? There
was, but it's pretty tight in college. I mean, you got to only like lose like 1 or 2 games to make it to make it into the playoff system. We didn't. My first 2 years there, we were struggling. Northwood was building too, and it made it a little bit tougher. My senior year, we ended up having the best year at 8-4. We did not make the playoffs, but that was it.
No. Well, since we're done with a little bit more of the main questions, since some people might want to know how has it been like going ever since you got out of high school, and like how has your life been?
Oh, my life's awesome. I mean, I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it, but like there's some people that they complain about life. I can't. I'm doing everything I've ever wanted to do. At the moment right now, I'm helping out as much as I can coach football. I have a small business. I'm helping my family work at the hardware store and build that. And I'm just back in my hometown. And I'm married. I don't have any kids, but hey, life's good. I can't complain at all about my life at all.
Well, I think we're done here, and thank you, Trevor Lutke, for coming out here to be on the podcast, and we'll see you in the near future.